Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Preston here, and this is my thoughts and breakdown of a potential fight between Shakur Stevenson versus Keyshawn Davis. But basically, we're going to start off with Shakur Stevenson. But basically, Shakur Stevenson has a fight with Floyd Schofield Jr. But basically, the Shakur Stevenson versus the Floyd Schofield fight is going to be on February the 22nd on the Archer Better BF versus Dimitri Bivol undercard. Basically, I'm just going to say, before running through, the whole Keyshawn Davis fight, because I'm also going to have a prediction, for this fight very soon. Not today, and stuff like that. But this is going to be a very good fight, in my opinion. I do think this is a very big test for both fighters. I feel like this fight right here will prove for both fighters to prove of how good both fighters truly are, because Shakur Stevenson, he's a great boxer, and stuff like that. He likes to more utilize his footwork, not get hit, not get hit. Floyd Schofield has great boxing skill, but is very explosive. And all of that right there is going to make a very, very, very good fight, in my opinion. But, I'm actually not going to go through all that. I'm going to make the video pretty long. But I'm just going to, because I was about to go through, what these fighters need to do to win. But I'm just more going to do that, for the prediction video, for this video, for the Stevenson versus Schofield fight, for that prediction video. I'm going to save, all of that for that video. But then I'm going to do, all of my breakdown for, this future fight, for Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, and stuff like that, But this fight right here is going to make a very good fight, in my opinion, and stuff like that, Again, I'm not going to tell you who I lean more towards, because I'm just going to say it's a very, very hard prediction to do. Because both these fighters are literally on, the same level, because Shakur Stevenson, he's trying to prove, that, he's not a scary fighter, and stuff like that. And not just that, and is that, his type of technique can still, win his fights against whatever fighter he goes against, and stuff like that, And this is kind of a stepping stone for this kind of fight. I mean, for that kind of scenario. But, for Schofield, this is a fight to prove of how good he is, because we all know of how good Schofield is, for how good Floyd Schofield is. He has great power, he has speed with his hands, and stuff like that. He knows how to, box you and stuff like that, and reel you into, his, barrage of punches, and stuff like that. But overall, I would say that Schofield is the underdog. So he is, I wouldn't say a big underdog. It's probably very, very close with the odds and stuff, because this is hands down Shakur Stevenson's toughest fight of his career, and stuff like that, and same for Floyd Schofield. But Floyd Schofield wants to prove that he's a very tough fighter, and stuff like that, and, people underrated him, and didn't really talk about, how truly good he is until, he beat, Shakur Stevenson, hypothetically. Now, after all that ranting, and stuff like that, we're going to talk more about Shakur Stevenson and stuff like that, Shakur Stevenson, he's a tough fighter, and stuff like that, he's a very good boxer, very quick, with his footwork, very athletic, probably, I would say the most athletic, boxer in, boxing right now, and stuff like that, because I just wouldn't see any boxer really having quicker footwork than Shakur Stevenson, and stuff like that. But it's just, Shakur Stevenson does have some, flaws and stuff that I want him to prove on. Not necessarily, in his way of, he would, lose fights, but in the way to make him more impressive. He needs to be a lot more explosive with letting his hands go. I understand Shakur isn't, a big power puncher. But what I mean why, he needs to be more explosive is that he needs to let his hands go more. He needs to not be petty with how he throws his punches, and stuff like that. Like, he needs to, like, be very, like, flawly of how he, like, throws his punches, like, make, his punches look impressive, because your footwork looks very good, like elite, the best footwork in boxing right now, and stuff like that. But it's just, you need to, like, let your hands go. You need to, like, learn how to take some hits. Sometimes Floyd Mayweather took some hits, and stuff like that. Like, you need to take some hits, but it's just at the same time, though, it's like Shakur Stevenson is good at inside defense. He's actually pretty good at utilizing that. Like that's the thing. But it's just, nowadays it's like he likes to more just run around and use his footwork. But that's the thing, and it's like Shakur Stevenson, like, he's a good fighter, and it's like he can definitely, and it's like he's an elite fighter, like he has all the talent in the world, and stuff like that, like all the talent in the world, but it's just more like, with Shakur Stevenson and stuff, it's like, one of the things with Shakur is, like, he needs to not always be buddy to buddy with things. And that's kind of also with, with Keyshawn Davis, because I feel like, like, Keyshawn Davis, he can also take the initiative, and stuff like that sometimes with, with, like, not wanting to, like, be all buddy to buddy, and stuff like that, But at the same time, though, it's just like, that's what type of fights we need. But it's just like, but at the same time, though, it's just, like, for improvement purposes, back to the improvement purposes, is that, Shakur Stevenson, is that, like, he just needs to make those improvements, like, he needs to not be so scary, and stuff like that, because I just feel like sometimes it's just like, just lately for, like, the last, like, 3 fights, he just been fighting really scary. Like, yes, he's gonna, like, win most fights with doing that, but it's just like, it's boring. Like, it's really fucking boring. Like, when you're that good of a fighter, you need to be able to showcase and be able to showcase, like, how, like, really good you are. Showcase, like, that you could do different things with like, your top of the notch, talent, which is Shakur Stevenson's quick footwork, and stuff like that, and his really good defense, Because, like, the leniency on it is, I just feel like, the reason why, Shakur Stevenson does that is because, like, he doesn't, he doesn't want to get hit, like, even though, like, Shakur Stevenson can take a hit, you've seen it against, like, Nakatila, and stuff like that. And Nakatila is the type of fighter who can really pop with his punches, and stuff like that. Like, we've seen it against, a ran down Miguel Burchell, but we've seen how powerful he can punch, and stuff like that. So it's like he has got hit a few times by Nakatila. He does have a chin, but it's just more of it's just like, I just feel like he doesn't want to, like, get hit like that, like, he likes to fight scary. And that's something that's not good, and stuff like that, because it's like, because he has all the talent in the world, where it's like it's not like he's gonna lose, but it's like, he fights scary because he doesn't want to get hit. So it's just he fights boring. Like, Mayweather wasn't a boring fighter. Like, that's the thing. Like, Mayweather, like, he knew how to be defensive, knew how to throw his punches, and stuff like that. Like, he showed people, like, his speed, his power, and stuff like that. He showed people that he got people out of there, and stuff like that. And he showed people that he can go to decision. And he did that from when he was young to all the way till, like, he was older, and stuff like that, So that's the thing. Shakur Stevenson needs to let his hands go. Like, that's the thing. Don't be like Adrian fucking Broner. Be like, yourself. Let your hands go. Just using the legendary, iconic Money Made Money as an example. But next is for Mr. Keyshawn Davis, and stuff like that. But for Mr. Keyshawn Davis, stop ducking Andy Cruz, bro. Because realistically, that's like one of just the main things also. Just stop ducking Andy Cruz. Like, it's just, like, because, this dude, like Keyshawn Davis, was saying like, I need to like go read on it more and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure it was true, because it was from, like a pretty good boxing source, like I forgot what the name was, and stuff. Let me actually go look.
Realize how much y'all help us, you know what I'm saying? Y'all talk about boxing when we don't feel like talking about boxing, we don't feel like listening. Y'all keep the casuals involved, you know what I'm saying? So y'all actually a big part of boxing, so y'all shouldn't really be putting no fighters down. Speaking of that, Matchroom, I ain't really like what they posted, like, unhappy son, because you never know. What if I wanted to side with Matchroom? So why would you actually do something like that? I feel like on a business perspective, that wasn't too smart on y'all end. But hey, shouts out to Matchroom. I mean, shit, we'll never know now. I'm gonna keep being an unhappy son though. Fight for a world title, making 6 figures.
Move past it. We've already moved past it. So what's the point of going backwards?
Hey, I was trying to tell somebody else that. Sean?
Hey, I had to stand on my take, man. I can't fold just because the business.
And then it's funny because he's like, oh, he can't keep that same energy. He keep that same energy, bro. He don't even speak English. What am I supposed to say to this dude? Like, what am I supposed to do? Push him or something? Like, what you want me to do? Like, bro, don't even speak English. It's not for me to say. I don't walk with a translator.
Do you care though, deep down, about getting that lick back sometime at some point?
Honestly, bro, if you really want my honest opinion,
yeah,
no. I really don't. Now,
but yeah, basically that's a duck right there in my opinion, and stuff like that. Just once he said no, and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, like, bro, like, that's just a duck, homie. Like, I am just saying, like, he literally ducked Andy Cruz. And I didn't get the clip because I don't feel like it, but, just, because he already said no, and that's already a duck right there. They're both the same weight class, they're both lightweights and stuff like that, and he said no, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the thing, and stuff. But he said that, like, oh, like, like the money isn't right, blah blah blah, like he isn't, like, he's not bringing that much fans, blah blah blah. Like, you're not bringing not like any more fans than Andy Cruz is bringing, bro. Like, you're not any better than Andy Cruz. But yeah, and I just had to make sure Andy Cruz is a lightweight, and stuff like that. And I don't mean to sound amateur about it, but he's also a lightweight. But in that case, it's like, there's no reason for Keyshawn to duck, Andy Cruz, and stuff like that, because, like, he wants to, call out Gervonta, and stuff like that. And actually, and stuff like that, he didn't even mention, Gervonta's name and stuff like that. I'm actually going to bring that up. Actually, I'm not going to do Keyshawn Davis like that. But yeah, this is a fight that I would like to see in the future, and stuff like that. If both these fighters wouldn't be, like, so friendly to each other and stuff. Like, I don't feel like getting any proof of that, and stuff like that, but, it's just, both these fighters, need to not be so friendly with each other, and stuff, because it's like, literally, like, this is boxing. Like, I understand, and stuff, like, buddy and buddy, like, they don't want to fight each other, but, kind of like, what Abdullah Mason said, and stuff, like, like, the only people I don't fight is my blood brothers. That's the only people I don't fight, and stuff like that. And that is 100% facts right there, and stuff like that, and both these fighters need to be on that, because I would love to see this fight. But for the final part of the video, what these fighters need to do to winning against each other. So let's start off with Shakur Stevenson. So what he needs to do and stuff like that is that he just needs to do what he needs to do, and stuff, focus on his footwork and stuff like that. But he needs to not run around the ring, because if he just runs around the ring, and stuff, that's just going to make it easier for, Keyshawn Davis to just press forward, and then, give him his barrage of punches, Keyshawn Davis, and stuff like that. And, it wouldn't be good for Shakur Stevenson in that case, and stuff like that. So he has to really, like, when he utilizes his footwork, he needs to, whenever whenever, like, he needs to utilize his footwork, yes. But basically, Shakur Stevenson, he needs to utilize his footwork, yes, and stuff like that. That's the number one key. But whenever, like, he's utilizing his footwork, he needs to, cut the angle, shoot the jab. But whenever, Keyshawn Davis, is coming forward to, press, his punches, Shakur Stevenson needs to look impressive with, utilizing his speed with his punches, which he always does, but, and put some power into the punches. But at the same time, he needs to look impressive. Like, he needs to look impressive with it. Whatever he needs to do, he needs to look impressive. Take shots, make sure he looks like he's the better fighter when, both fighters are fighting each other. Because Keyshawn isn't just going to want to box you like and fight scared. He's going to want to just, throw punches with you. And also, cut the angles and, and utilize his footwork and stuff. He also does good at that. But, his main agenda is to reel you into his barrage of punches, Keyshawn Davis. And also, Shakur Stevenson needs to not fight scary. I don't know if I already said that, but he needs to not fight scary. But for Keyshawn Davis, kind of like what I said with Shakur Stevenson, like Shakur Stevenson likes to, like not be so active, and he likes to, just be overindulged into utilizing his footwork. So when he does that and stuff like that, like, you need to be able to, like, reel him into your shots, and stuff like that, and, basically, like, just counter him, and stuff like that. And once you find that range, you need to, like, just explode with your punches, and stuff like that, land your shots, and stuff like that, But the main key is to force, Shakur Stevenson to go backwards. Or go forwards, I mean. And, making Shakur Stevenson, go forward is something that's very hard. But the one person that kind of did that, and stuff like that was Jamel Herring, and stuff like that. But he kind of got beaten up doing that. But it was more because no matter what, it's like, even when he got beaten up, he didn't really go forward into trying to, dictate the fight. He was mainly trying to fight backwards, and stuff like that. And I feel like that should be a main key for Keyshawn Davis, because I feel like that he's, levels above Jamel Herring, in my opinion, and stuff like that, and I feel like if he utilizes going backwards and stuff like that, and making, Shakur Stevenson go backwards and stuff, that's where he can lead into, utilizing his barrage of punches. But counterpunching is one of the most important things for Keyshawn Davis, for him to win this fight, and stuff like that, because if he can counterpunch Keyshawn Davis, depending on how much, power he's giving to Shakur Stevenson, and how much, he's making Shakur Stevenson respect, Keyshawn Davis, and stuff like that, like, if Keyshawn just hits him and stuff, like, Shakur just might just want to go backwards, and stuff like that. So utilizing, just backwards movement and being patient, Keyshawn Davis, but then also utilizing the counter punching and stuff like that too, to make sure that, Shakur Stevenson would get backed up and stuff like that, and he wanted like exchange as much, because he doesn't really want to exchange really at all. So like, if you want, like, so if you do that, and stuff like that, like, it would make it where Shakur Stevenson, like, because, like, even one punch with Shakur Stevenson, he would want to just go back. But if you throw, like, multiple punches, multiple power shots at Shakur Stevenson, he's not going to want to, like, exchange at all, and stuff like that. He's just going to try to move around the ring, try to clinch, and try to do whatever he's going to try to do, and stuff like that, And that's the thing, and stuff. And that's at least the plan if, Keyshawn Davis wants to be dominant, and stuff like that. Because if Keyshawn's being dominant, there's no way that what's his name? Oh my gosh. Keyshawn Davis and like, there's just if Keyshawn's being dominant, there's just no way that Shakur Stevenson is just gonna want to exchange like that, and shit. Because like I just feel like like whenever Shakur Stevenson can't move around like how he wants to, and he gets hit too much, I just feel like Shakur Stevenson would kind of be the type, like you never know, but I feel like he might be the type that would want to clinch, and that would be the advantage, for Keyshawn Davis in his favor of winning this fight. Oh yeah, and before I go also, and stuff like that, like Keyshawn also needs to not reference Gervonta Tank Davis's name, and stuff like that. Because I feel like Shakur Stevenson, and stuff like that, like I feel like that I feel like Shakur Stevenson, he more deserves to fight Gervonta Tank Davis more than Keyshawn Davis, and stuff like that. Keyshawn, again, actually, I'm gonna put this before the actual video, but Keyshawn Davis has smoke that he needs to deal with Andy Cruz. But peace out, y'all. Also remember that this fight, the Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield fight is this week. But overall, do I think this fight's going to happen? I mean, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I mean, it might happen, and stuff like that, it very much could happen this year. But, honestly, though, genuinely, I'm going to come out with, a full video of this, too. But, I feel like, he more, Keyshawn Davis needs to more focus on trying to fight Andy Cruz, and stuff like that. Because it's literally what, he just said on the internet and shit, saying he doesn't want to fight Andy Cruz, and stuff. That's what Keyshawn Davis said. And it's because, he doesn't have that much of a fan base, and stuff like that. That's an excuse, and that's a duck right there, and stuff like that. He literally, he's ducking Andy Cruz. So I feel like before he actually fights Shakur Stevenson, I feel like he needs to go and fight Andy Cruz, in my opinion, and shit. Because it's Andy Cruz is a very good fighter, has power in both hands, has very good movement, very good, offense and defensive skills, and stuff like that. Beat Keyshawn Davis, I believe, 3 times, and stuff like that, I think one of them was controversial and Keyshawn should have won or something. But that's the thing, though. But that's smoke that, Keyshawn needs to deal with, before he needs to go and fight Shakur Stevenson, and stuff like that, And that's the thing, and stuff. And while they're solving that beef, and stuff like that, Shakur Stevenson has a fight with Floyd Schofield, and stuff like that. And you never know, after that fight, winner of that fight might fight Gervonta Tank Davis, and stuff like that. And then the winner of that fight might as well maybe fight the winner of Keyshawn Davis versus Andy Cruz, or Andy Cruz versus Keyshawn Davis, however you pronounce it. But yeah. But basically, thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Preston. Peace out.